when Anthony Homelander Starr and his squad capture some world leaders and try to drive up the price of crypto for their own nefarious means, only President Viola Davis and Anthony Anderson can save the day in G20, an Amazon original directed by Patricia Regan, who's done films like Under the Same Moon, a film that actually was mostly well received by critics and audiences. Check out our IMDb page for the full list of her work, and this was also allegedly written by 4 different faulty AI programs. I mean writers, I mean idiots, I'm not mixing words, I fucking hated G20. I didn't have any hopes when I saw the goddamn poster of Viola Davis, who is absolutely tremendous. She was great in The Woman King. She's been great in a lot of films. And sure, everybody's going to have a goddamn dud. And she doesn't play down to the material. She tries to elevate it. But that's like trying to elevate slop to be a goddamn 5-course meal. Or some kind of goddamn food where you actually don't feel like throwing up with every little bite, every little snip, every little look at it. This is an absolute abomination of a film. From beginning to goddamn end. Within the first few minutes, we get so many crypto words thrown at us and so much talk of crypto and everything, and man, this movie is absolutely a 2025 flick with all the influence of crypto and da-da-da and all that. And man, to think we could have had President Viola Davis, that actually certainly would have gone better than what we currently have now. And also, yes, Anthony Homelander Starr, who is tremendous. I have not actually seen, like much of it. I mean, I've only seen a few scenes of, that very, very popular series, The Boys, that Anthony Starr was in, but he's a great actor. He's just not allowed to do much in this. Yes, Anthony Anderson being a hero of sorts in this. Considering certain allegations he's skated on, yeah, that's certainly a choice. So basically, the G120, you know what, I'm just going to call it the G120, because having it actually be the G1 Climax 20th tournament would have actually been better. I would have rather watched that, a clipped version of that, as opposed to this. But yes, there were 4 people that wrote this. 4 people that wrote this, and basically the G120 summit is taken over by Anthony Homelander Starr and his goons, and then President Viola Davis, along with Ramon Rodriguez as Agent Manny Ruiz, have to save the day. Yeah, that's about it. That's really about it. This is essentially just a bad version of Die Hard and a whole bunch of other action movies. Human Centipede together with at least a central idea of a Madam President, with a little bit of, military training going against a whole bunch of hired goon squad. I am the goon squad. You're the goon squad. Also, she has a daughter that is an experienced hacker. Boy, I bet that won't come back to, bite the villains in the ass at all. Why would anybody think that? Look, I'm just going to spoil a lot of this, because missing out on anything in G120 will not haunt you until your dying days. Okay, it's G20, but nevertheless, there is a line in this that says, "Holy shit, you're from Wakanda." Chadwick Boseman did not die for this, and I want to know what writer actually wrote that, because whoever wrote that, you need to find something else to fucking do. That's just really goddamn bad. Jokes like that are earned. They are not to be shoved in slop like this. But let's talk about those faulty writer programs. You have Caitlin Parrish, who might as well be from the worst Louisiana parish. Look, I'm sure they're nice people. I don't fucking care. Erica Weiss, or Weiss, or whatever. And you also have Noah and Logan Miller, who ended up executive producing this as well. And apparently they didn't put any money towards the CGI. The CGI is dog shit. The CGI looks like stuff that you would find in a late 90s action movie. Yeah, crypto beating you over the head and all that stuff. I do have to say, Angela Serafian, beautiful, magnificently beautiful and captivating, isn't in this movie very long. And then we see Homelander Starr basically gain a crypto wallet. And the idea is to basically use deep fake stuff and drive up the price of crypto so they can get rich. That's it. That's your plot right there. Anthony Anderson is the husband of Viola Davis. And we get other leaders. We do get Elena, played by Sabrina Mpakasio. Or Torre, that is. I totally screwed up that name. She's been good in some stuff. I'm terrible with foreign names. I do apologize. But Sabrina I is actually tries to have some fun in this. So yeah, they go to Cape Town, South Africa, and it turns out that one of their agents basically is in on this whole damn thing, or then so somebody else. Look, again, I'm not really going to care if anybody wants to get upset about spoilers in this, because if you can't figure out where this whole damn thing's going, especially one particular person that practically tips their hands as to how they felt about, Madam President early on, yeah, there you are. That's it. Leaders get killed. People get put in peril for about 5 goddamn seconds. People survive bullet wounds that really would kill somebody. And one guy gets shocked in a kitchen because of a flooded sink. And then at one point, Sabrina choked somebody out in an elevator. I certainly wouldn't want to take that. Who would want to take that from a gorgeous Italian woman in her 50s? That being said, yeah, I guess I can get the spoilers if I want. It's on Amazon if you want to check it out. So here you go. Yeah, spoilers. So everybody survives. There you go. That's your spoilers. Oh, you want more? You want more? Because I kind of spoiled some stuff already. This is utterly putrid. Poor Viola Davis. I wrote down poor Viola Davis several times, especially having to be romantic with Anthony Anderson. So they easily take over the summit, by the way. Rutledge, that's Homelander star's name in this. The ever, easily destroyed security with bombs and gas. And the idea is they use this deepfake technology to basically get people. They read a certain message and they're able to use this AI technology to make it seem like crypto is the way to go. Drive down currency prices and drive up crypto and all that and whatever. Anthony Anderson can't do stunts for shit. I know that he's diabetic, and I certainly understand that. And I'm not here to knock that. I'm here to knock Anthony Anderson as any kind of star, because a guy that's very unremarkable at everything. He was on Law and Order for a bit and then not after a bit. Wonder why. So there's a guy named Agent Darden. He's in on this. There are other recognizable names you will see in this. The kids escape at one point. There is one point early on in the movie where Serena, the kid, the daughter, easily hacks into, very secure systems. And obviously that will come back to play a little bit later on. She ends up hacking into this, tower at the G20 summit. And they are going to basically do... They're basically going to, get a message out. They get some reinforcements. There are 2, Cape Town security, government official people that end up, they're like high operatives. I think everybody was high while making this. Just wanted to say that. At least everybody that wrote it. I will not stop dumping on the writers of this. Now, I'm sure maybe these people actually have talent, but none of it was on display here. And if this is what was allowed to be on film, I'm going to dump on everything. I'm going to definitely dump on Amazon for thinking that this was a good idea to do. At least this bad. So yeah, boost crypto. That's it. Boost crypto, hit overhead, boop, boop, boop. They were in a crowded elevator at one point. They did not listen to the words of our Lords and Saviors, Incubus. Lords and Saviors is awful English, but I'm just going to roll with it here. Because Sabrina choked me out like that is what I noted. I don't have issues, by the way. You all have issues. And impacitore, I believe is how you say it. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. So... I believe the Australian leader and the South Korean leader get killed. Others just go along with it before this happens because the South Korean guy gets his ear cut off and apparently doesn't bleed out. Viola basically decides she's going to start saving the day, and Agent Manny Ramirez, Ruiz, Rodriguez, whatever. He's going to, Razor Ramon Rodriguez is going to show up and do, I'm just going to insult the characters here because this movie does not deserve anything but insults. And essentially, Ruiz, Rodriguez, Razor Ramon gets shot, gut shot, but somehow is okay. There's this thing called the Beast. It's like, this high-end military vehicle, to protect the president, protect other government officials. And at one point, Elena and the British Prime Minister, who I know the actor... I do recognize him, and I know that the actor has a name. I don't really give a fuck. Nothing against him. They end up having one point where they escape this blockade and they get rocket launched or whatever because apparently Metal Slug was a heavy influence on this. And yeah, holy shit, you're from Wakanda. I actually cringed at that, and I'm not even a big Black Panther fan. I mean, I recognize that the movies are good, but come on. Ruiz, by the way, can still do just fine, despite being gut shot. She caves quickly to basically save her husband. Again, Anthony Anderson. You could get you can do better. Believe in yourself, Viola. I believe in you. And then Serena basically says, I can bring the party to us, so we're going to turn the tables, we get the powers out and all that stuff and everything. And do you care that I'm skipping over certain plot elements? There are no plot elements in this. This is just garbage. It's like fucking candy. So they basically end up turning the tables on Homelander's star. The special ops come in to help. She does the deep fake to basically save her husband. Again, Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson really isn't worth saving from a traffic violation, but that being said. So crypto rises. Nobody will believe this, but people will believe it enough. So, and this crypto wallet is like, what the hell is it? It's like a freaking, it's like a Nokia phone. So, Rutledge basically gets Serena, and is going to escape. Now, he does tell President Viola Davis, and her last name is Sutton, but just saying President Viola Davis is just funnier, so that's why I'm doing it. He told her there was this thing about her on Time Magazine saving a boy from the clutches of his mother because she was blown apart, and she wanted to save him, and that was put on Time Magazine. She doesn't feel she's really much of a hero, but she rode that wave. Oh, yes, and also there was a woman named Joanna that was a Treasury Secretary that also ran as president that didn't get it, but they're friends again. Gee, I wonder what the hell happened here and how Rutledge got into the whole thing. Oh, what do you mean Joanna was in on it? So, yes, basically Rutledge tells Viola, yeah, two of my, army mates or platoon mates or whatever were killed, and that's why I'm going after you. I mean, revenge, okay. I mean, I could buy that. And had this movie earned anything as far as story elements to invest in, then I might have cared. But they end up in a helicopter. Serena's going to be taken away. And, President Viola Davis has the goddamn crypto wallet and says, tell you what, take me instead. And then she throws a crypto wallet. Hits him with the crypto wallet and throws it. And then it falls down. I guess nobody had a backup. I don't care how this shit works. Because if you were going to invest that much to the point where you're going to rely on a little bit of technology for your money, you kind of need help. So then they get in a fight. The helicopter almost crashes, and then they get bands around them and everything, and it gets saved. God, if only that would have happened to everybody but Kobe Bryant on that whole thing. And I would feel bad, but 2003 in Denver. No, I don't feel bad for him. Feel bad for his daughter and everybody else, though. And then they're all saved, and literally the movie ends. We see that Joanna's going to jail. We see all this stuff is happening, and you're like, I hate this. I hate this. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, yeah, right. In case a particular person is watching this, at this point, I've got to give the people what they want. But after watching Drop earlier this week, watching the fourth Mission Impossible movie that I actually am continuing my rewatch of, and after watching The Ballad of Wallace Island and Warfare, seeing slop like this and not even being mildly entertained by it is actually just an indication that a lot of these streaming movies, it is getting to the point where the movie industry is going to have to, basically rebuild its trust with a lot of people that actually care about film. Mindless entertainment is one thing, but the key word there is the second word, entertainment. If you're just mindless, nobody's going to goddamn care. It gets an F. G120 is terrible. G20, G02. This movie could have used some O2. Actually, could have used some CO2. Actually, could have used, a tank of goddamn helium, so it could have flowed the fuck away. Agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Renthlan. I'll see you soon.